Fresh grapefruit. Somebody gave me a fresh grapefruit off their tree. I love it. It smells so good. The wind blew it off a tree. I love it. I'm gonna put it in the fridge for later. Let's crack open a bubble bubble. This bubble bubble really hits the spot sometimes. I just want something. I had some sparkly water still, but I want something a little bit freshy fresh. You know? Mm. When you crack open a bubbly, it has that fresh taste to it. It's really zany. I also have some coffee because, you need coffee if you're going to do dishes. Or I need coffee on my dishes. I don't know what other people need. I just know what I like. Shake up the coconut milk. Now, if I just drink coffee at home, I never put sugar in it. If I get coffee at Starbucks, sometimes it has sugar in it. So that's how I balance it out. Okay. If you ever get worried about the texture of like putting coconut milk in your coffee, it looks kind of bubbly, and sometimes I'm like, is there soap in there? No, it's just something about the texture of coconut milk I've noticed. Okay, so I need to unload Mr. Dishwasher. Let's open him up, roll out the bottom part. Towel. All right. So I'm gonna start by taking out my little racks for the air fryer racks. It still has like something stuck on him. This thing that's stuck on him is like a piece of a cloth or something just stuck in there. Yeah. Come on, get out. I think I need to get a wire brush to clean them up because they're just not getting as clean as I would like. A cutting board. Oh, look at that. Plattles. Very gently though. I don't really like to stack them that way because then they make noise, and I don't like my plates to make noise. Like I like to be a little bit more gentle with them because I feel like they make too much noise that way. It was fun, but I'm gonna try to be more gentle. Those are the more heavy duty plates I have. I think my dad got those for me somewhere. My dad loves like secondhand stores. He bought me those plates a long time ago. I'm like, oh, thanks, Dad. But they've been good plates. Like, not these ones. We got these ones at Walmart a long time ago. But the other ones, they're like Japanese pottery plates. They're made in Japan. I have to look at the brand, but yeah. Some of my spoons are off Amazon. And I like the set, actually. It's not bad. They've stayed shiny for like 2 years. They've been in pretty good shape. and I augment them. Like I know a lot of people throw away their plastic silverware, but I'm like, I'm not gonna throw it away. Like I actually, if I use it, I just have it as like backup, like silverware, because I run my dishwasher like every few days. I know some people are like, oh, hand dishwashing only, but I rinse all my dishes off. And then when I have more time, like I do it every day. Like I get all the dishes cleaned up and put in, and I usually unload it. But I've just been kind of busy, okay? I don't run the dishwasher every day. What I mean is I load up my dishwasher every day. But anyway, just been a little busy. But yeah, so I'm trying to catch up on some things before my sister calls me, and I'll go do her laundry.
Don't do that.
Oh, I have a recommendation. My dad gave me this potato peeler. I do not like it. He got it at the Dollar Tree. No. Years ago, I invested in a much better um, potato peeler. This one at the time, I mean, I got it at Walmart, but I think it was like maybe $10. It wasn't the highest end one, but with inflation, it might be closer to 20 nowadays. But this has been the best potato peeler ever. I love this one. He's lasted a long time. This is a very good potato peeler. It was from their fancier Walmart section, which I know Walmart's not fancy, but yeah, this has just been like the best potato peeler because it has like this ergonomic handle and it just feels very solid, like when you peel the potatoes. I just love this one. This one was flimsy. I don't know. I might try this on vegetables though, because I feel like this could be good for zucchini, but not so much potatoes. I'd have to have the vegetable to show you what I mean. But yeah, that was a pretty fast unload for the lower end part of the dishwasher. I'm gonna put our ones on top. Let's get a washcloth. I think it was mostly plates this time for some reason. That's what it seems like anyway. Oh, this bowl. I love this bowl. It's a beautiful blue bowl. It's Fiesta ware. My sister ordered this off JCPenney's. But we've had it for like I don't know, 15 years high. It's a cool bowl. I just remember the time we had like a JCPenney's card and I said we had just moved and she was like, I need some new bowls. So it's been a long lasting bowl. This one I think we also got off JCPenney's too at the same time, and we've had this little bowl for 15 years. And then I remember where I get my silverware and my things, and I keep them and I make them last their whole life cycle. They don't get thrown away. And this was just from Walmart. A lot of my plates and some of my cups in the past were ones that my dad found at the thrift store. Lately, I did start buying more coffee cups just because my sister likes to go to like Ross and what's the other one? Marshall's. So I found some really cute like coffee cups at Marshall's, but I'm gonna use them like forever. I'm not getting rid of them. Like when I do decide to buy something, like it's because I actually want it. But lately I'm like I'm not gonna be buying as much stuff just because, I think I have enough stuff. And I actually maybe will get rid of some things. I don't know. If I had more time, I want to do a big like closet declutter. Not a clothes, but the other closet over there, because I have books and I do love books. Okay, but I've been thinking about selling books just because. I don't know. Hi, how you doing, Benoy? I love these cups, and we got these at Walmart, and they're just like little color changing cups when you put a cool beverage in them. Hi, Riley, how you doing? Riley, this is not the hair channel. This is the everything channel. Remember, Riley? I feel like, Riley, you could come. Like, I've done a lot of hair videos recently. I do have two channels. I have one that's about hair, and I have one that's just about everyday life, which, like I've been saying, I want to get back to doing more art. I definitely do. Oh, this container. I love this container, and it's like a new addition. It's just like a plastic container, but we got Thai food the other day, and I love the containers. Like when you go to this particular Thai restaurant and you get a to-go container. I'm sure you could buy these anywhere, but I love these because they're like a microwavable reset seal. Oh, okay. So it's a Deli Now pack. I bet you could buy these online, but I really like these little containers. Riley, I've done many videos on how to braid. Like, I could do, Riley, I know you're saying that you want me to teach you how to braid. I feel like I need to make a very comprehensive video on braiding. Like, I've done it all the time, but maybe I need to do one that's more tutorial style. Because all of a sudden in the new year, I do want to make... I did reply to your comments. I said, hi, Benoy. I have been telling you about what I'm doing. Did you not hear what I was saying, Benoy? That's what I've been doing the whole time. And I'm talking about what I'm doing here because it's basically we're doing dishes. It's a cleaning video, Benoy. So even though things run through the dishwasher, I like to, because to get a little bit of water on top, so I just get a cloth. And I kind of dry them off. So what is it that you want to know, Benoy? Like, do you have a question or something? Like, because you said hi and I said hi back, so I don't know what I didn't say to you that you feel I didn't answer. But if you have a question or a comment, you can tell me and I can respond right now. So what is your comment, Benoy? I want to know. Okay, guess not. So, just making sure all the cups are nice and dry, because the thing I like about the dishwasher is it gets things a little bit more sanitized and clean. I know a lot of people are so anti-dishwasher, but I really love them because when you have to do dishes by hand, it is a lot more rigorous. It really is. Like, you really have to get in there and scrub, and then you have to lay them out to dry. And the dishwasher just makes your life a lot easier because you rinse off your dishes. I mean, I still wash my pans by hand for sure, but... Dear, how's the situation in the USA? Do you mean like with Trumpy Wumpers? He hasn't become president yet. We'll have to see. Like, I don't know what it's gonna be like. So, here's the thing. I don't know yet. I don't know. There's a lot of people who think he's a great thing. Do I think he's a great thing? No, I don't vote for him. But I don't even think you have to be like a hardcore Democrat to think he's not a good thing. But if he's going to be president, he's going to be president. He's been president before. Things haven't been good economic-wise, but I don't think it's just because of, like, Biden. I think some of it's corporate greed, really. Like, I'm not saying every policy that Biden passed was the best of the best, because he was probably too old to be president. But you could say that about Donald Trump, too. Like, I think Donald Trump, when you hear him speak, is really too old to be president. I do. Like, it seems like we were talking about having younger people become president that were more in tune with the population, but it seems like we're having an upward trend. We're having some of the oldest men ever as president of the United States. That's questionable. And I know they all hated Kamala Harris, which, like, I don't know why they hate her so much. She wasn't my, like, favorite pick, but at least she was a little bit younger and she was a little bit more in tune with what people wanted. I don't know. So I just don't know what to say. I'm kind of at the point in my life where I'm like, political fighting is just not healthy for me. And I feel like a lot of politics is just people wanting to fight and they're gonna think like whenever something really great happens in the economy under Trump, like I don't know. But here's another thing I've been thinking too. Maybe the corporations want the tax breaks that Trump and the Republicans want to get them, so they will rate. Maybe they'll lower the prices of groceries. I'm hoping the prices of groceries go down. But then that's kind of like they're playing with the minds of the American people a little bit because they're like, oh, we get these tax breaks. Oh, the wildfire situation? Okay, that. I wasn't sure what you meant exactly. So that's not good in LA, but I don't live in LA. I live 60 miles west of LA. So there's a lot of dust and it's really windy. The wind's bad, but we have something called the Santa Ana winds, which this time of year we have these really heavy, strong, gusty winds that I've walked into and I've had them like they literally pull you along. Like I was walking the other day and the wind like it's so fierce that it like literally pulls you along and you're like, stop blowing already, stop blowing. So this is not good. Like when there's a fire, a lot of people lost their homes and it's not good, but we're having an La Nina, not El Nina. I'm trying to remember the trait. So for like Spanish words for Nina means girl, El Nino means like little boy. But for some reason when it's a La Nina winter, it's a drier winter. And when it's an El Nino winter, I need to look up the correct like description of El Nino versus La Nina. La in front of like Spanish word means like feminine, like Nina. So La Nina literally translates into like little girl, and El Nino means like little boy. But for some reason, weather patterns, hurricanes are called like names. They give them names. Why? I don't know. But it's a dry winter, and we live in a very dry climate. Like basically we are like a desert, but we are different here in the Inland Empire of Southern California because we have this big mountain range. Like they always say that there's no water in Southern California, but I said, wait, like when I was researching that, I knew that wasn't entirely true because the San Bernardino Mountains are a wealth and resource of water, but it's basically like a mountain surrounded by desert. So you really need a lot of moisture, like everywhere in Southern California, to mitigate fire conditions. And then we have climate change, and some people are like, that's not real, but it is because things are hotter and drier than they've ever been. So I'm not saying it's good, but I don't think there's any rain in the forecast. So a lot of people lost their homes. I've been fortunate enough that I lived in an area right now where we don't have fire, but you know, I've lived in an area where we evacuated through a fire before, where the fire was like 15 miles away and everybody was like leaving, and we evacuated once, like, but this time I've been lucky because I wasn't in one of the areas, like a lot of people had their power shut off. But the good thing is you can go to a lot of public places to use power. Like if your power's shut off, there's a lot of public places you can go to, like if your power's shut off. So I've been lucky. I think a lot of people were not so lucky, like Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica, places like that closer to the coast this time. Not all of California is on fire, Miguel. Parts of California, like the western part of the coast, is on fire. I live more inland. Like I'm halfway between Los Angeles and the border of Arizona. So I don't know. But you have to be careful because with all these winds, they could shift, and it's really dry right now. And if you don't have rain, this is why they have to turn off the power, and people are very inconvenienced, and they're like, why are the power lines turned off right now? It's because one time, like up in the mountains where I used to live, like one of the power transformers, like because of the wind, it was another year with Santa Ana winds. Hi, Miguel, how you doing? And the power line combusted and just like it started incinerating. So sometimes they have to turn off the power to mitigate fires, because when you have a lot of people living in a very dry, arid climate, and all sort of, it's gonna impact climate. It's a lot of things. Like I feel like there's a lot of science to it, but if you want to know like what is happening, like I will update you guys. I will give little stories. I've been showing the wind. It's been very windy and dry, and at night it's kind of cold. It was like down to 40 degrees, which I guess that's not as cold as it could be. Like, it's been 29 degrees here. I know people are going to be like, oh, 29 degrees is minus zero. But here's another thing that I think is interesting about weather patterns is it doesn't get as cold in the US as it used to be. Like, you used to have parts of the country that would freeze and have snow. And right now, like, even where it does snow, like, people have been saying it's not as cold as it used to be. And I think that's kind of indicative of climate change. But, you know, a lot of people deny it, but I know it's real. Scientists know it's real. If regular people don't agree, then that's on them. I don't know. So yeah, those are different things going on, I guess. I've been lucky. Right now, it hasn't impacted me too much. I think if it had, I would have done probably a short video just saying, hey, power's out. Like, because I like to do updates like that. I'm just into like talking about events and whatnot. So for me, everything's been pretty good. Just super windy. You know, it's super, super windy. And that's about it. Um, I've been pushing myself really, really, really hard. Like, I'm a very busy girl. And I always will be a busy girl because I believe in being very productive. And it's the only way to be, for me anyway. I don't live a luxurious, like, I don't live a luxurious type of free time lifestyle. Like, I like to do this channel. Like, in my downtime, I like to actually, I don't know, do something fun and productive and creative. And later I'll be doing my sister's laundry. You know? So I always believe in staying busy. I do. I think it's good for your soul. But that I was raised that you should always be productive and busy. And that's the way I kind of live, you know? That's the problem, but even like the houses that are made of other materials, like they still things can melt and power lines can burn. Like, power lines are not made out of wood. And with all these fires, we have millions and like the majority of the population of the US is concentrated in this area. The majority of population is concentrated like where the fires are. Like, there's there are more people in the Los Angeles area than there are in some states, and they're spread out. Like, everybody's always like, oh, the US doesn't think about the Midwest and they don't think about this part of the country or that. But even like if you look at the population bases of the country, like big population pockets are in like the West Coast cities of the US. The cities in Texas, like in Texas, like a lot of the cities near city areas are highly populated and near on East Coast cities. So you do have people in the middle parts of the country, but people are more spread out. So you have power lines and they can combust and like go up into flames. So even if a house is made out of wood, that can be a problem, yes, but there's other materials that can melt with high temperatures of fire. So I don't know, like that can be an issue, but other things can also be in. And here's another thing, because I lived in the mountains when they had a fire, like the fire in 2020. What year was it? It's been 20 years. 21 years? 2024. I don't know. 2003. 2003. So you had the old fire met up with the Grand Prix fire, and it turned out an arsonist. Like, I hate to say this a lot of times. A lot of times I don't always think, like, there was one of the fires that merged with another one because the power transformer went into flames, but sometimes there's these arsonists. Like, it makes me sad. It just, I feel sick about it. But like, they found some guy that set a fire like back in 2004, and two of the fires merged and it burned houses like maybe 5 or 6 miles from where we lived. And this was the weird thing: all the houses in the mountains are made of wood, and the fire like would jump from, because you have hills and valleys, and the way the wind is, like sometimes it would jump, like the fire would literally like jump from one house to another house, and there would be houses in between that were not burned. So I always thought when I was a kid, like, oh, like if there was a fire, it's just gonna burn like a straight path, like all the way across. But it doesn't. Like when you have windy weather and you have mountains, and you can't predict, like it can like jump, and it's really interesting. So even if the houses are made out of wood, that doesn't mean that they're all gonna burn. It has a lot to do with like the science behind the wind, and I don't know. It's just, but yeah, I've just been lucky that this time around I've lived in an area where that was part of why I don't want to live in mountains anymore, because the mountains are like, in my mind, they feel very dangerous place to live. Like I didn't like living in the mountains after that, like after all those fires. Plus, there's just other things in the mountains that I don't really love. Like when you have an El Nino winter, not a La Nina winter, it gets really, really snowy. And there's just, I don't know. I didn't love it. I might live up there again someday, but I kind of like living down in the valley where you have more control. But then now you have people in Santa Monica and Pacific Palisades, but they live up on hills too. And that's not the mountains. It's just, there's a lot of things about where they decide to build houses. And if you look at the history of the geography, and is this a fire danger, and people buying the houses, they're not going to be aware of that. But the people who are the buy the land, they know those things, but they don't really care, like to sell the houses. But you can't even predict all these things. You have to just remember there's always been fires in Southern California, like, but it's become astronomically worse due to climate change. And this is something that a lot of people say is not real. And they keep saying it's not real, but it definitely is real. So I don't know. It's sad, but you just have to be very careful, you know? I don't know. That's all I can say about it. I'm not a fire expert, but there's a lot of people on YouTube. Like, if you want to know, like, the science behind climate change, and like, why do some houses burn and not others during these fires? Like, there's videos that have very scientific explanations for it. I'll just tell you right now, I've been lucky and I haven't been in an area that was impacted, but I feel like it's kind of scary because a lot of times they find out in some of these cases it's an arsonist who sets these fires. Because yes, we live in a dry area, but I always question, like the last fire that burned on the mountains, there was a fire where they were evacuated this summer, like not that far away. Somebody said it, you know. But here's the thing, Miguel, a lot of these fires recently, they can be prevented, but there's people that are setting them. Like there was this man that was an arsonist, and he went around and he was setting fires, and like it's kind of scary. I don't know. I need to read what happened with this recent fire. Honestly, I've been kind of a busy gal. I haven't read to see what happened, but I'm not sure if these more recent fires were just like wind power line, or I don't know. But yeah, that's my update on the fire situation. It's not good for those people. I feel bad for those people. And I know some people are like, oh, it's not about politics, but a little bit it is, because we have an incoming president that already, he hates California. He doesn't like California, even though a lot of people in California voted for him. Like he's been like saying like he wants to cut funding for FEMA, and like that's kind of scary. So, and with the natural disaster like that, and then most of the population being in California, I don't think that's cute. Like, so I'll try not to talk about the political stuff too much, because I know somebody's like, oh, I don't want to hear about the political stuff, but it's a balance. I don't know. It's a balance, because I don't think you can completely separate the politics of it from like things that are happening, because the politics of it will impact like funding, like for people that lost their houses to fires, and insurance. Like right now, like a lot of people, like their house will be burned in a fire, and insurance, like a lot of people are losing their insurance, like their fire insurance. Like a lot of people in the state of California can't even have fire insurance. So then it's a very complex topic, and like I said, I think there's people that do documentary style topics on this topic, and they can cover it much better. So yeah, that's interesting. It's sad though. It's not good. It's not a good stuff. But I guess Benoit's rolled left because he said he wanted me to talk about it, and then he he left. I'm like, okay, Benoit. I don't understand. Like, I'm always asked to talk about things and then gone, goodbyes, be no longer seen again once I talk about the topic that is requested. So, yeah, I don't really get it. This is interesting. I'm gonna go get a towel for my pan. So, if I had to wash all my dishes by hand, I would never, ever, ever use. Uh, I just would never use those dish strainers anymore. Let's talk about leggings. Miguel, you love leggings, I know. Don't worry, Miguel. I'll do more videos. Like, I want to buy some new leggings. Maybe I should do a leggings review. I think that's like your favorite topic, Miguel. We'll talk about leggings many more days. Okay? Don't worry. No, leggings are your favorite subject in the planet. I'm just trying to find places to put everything. So I can put the pan thing. I think that's good. So I'm gonna get a towel. Like, if I did dishes by hand, I would never buy one of those. Oh, I know. You're funny, Miguel. I know. You are funny. So if I did all my dishes by hand, I would never buy those strainer things anymore. People love them. Or even like the mats to dry your dishes. I would just use towels because that's what I do with my pans. And that's what I've done in the past when the dishwasher is broken, because I feel like those dish strainers, they get so gross after a while. You know, everybody's like, oh no, they're lovely, they're so nice, like they're really good. And I'm like, I don't feel like they are. I feel like they get moldy over time. They definitely do, because people, I don't know, they don't realize it, but all that water is like dripping off the dishes and the plastic gets all moldy and it's kind of gross. So I just put it on a towel, okay? Like, when I have towels, like, so with the pans, I just wash them. I'm washing my pan right now. I don't know, you can't see it. Put some water on my hands. I had some more dishes I needed to pile into Mr. Dishwasher, actually. I need to put him in there. I'm gonna put the cups in there that I didn't have time to stack in. Move you up there. Okay. And then I had another, I'm gonna just give you a little bit of a rinse on the bottom. And then I'm gonna use the sponge to kind of get rid of your coffee ring, because if I haven't had time to load up the dishwasher every night, I feel like, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna put the blue plate down here so that a big coffee cup can live over here, because I feel like it's better that the coffee cups get this prime real estate. Anything touching it, so how would you fit in here? There we go. I feel like you would fit there. That's good. It's a very awkward shaped coffee cup. It's just hard to. What time is it here? It's 9:31 in the morning. So I have a lot of energy because I slept. I slept a lot. Like, I slept. I was so busy this week that I went to bed, like, I think before 8 o'clock at night. I was like out by 8. And then I woke up, like, I thought, like, a lot of times I wake up at 4 in the morning or something if I go to bed that early, but I didn't wake up till almost 7:30 this morning. And I left YouTube on, and it was like playing some video, and this guy was just talking about something or other, about the gospel, and I was like, okay. I mean, I want to watch this channel, but for some reason YouTube thinks I want to watch his live streams. And sometimes if you leave YouTube on, like, it just starts auto playing. It doesn't do that as much anymore, but for some reason it was auto playing all night long. And I don't know what it is. It's like YouTube thinks I want to watch this guy's, like, live streams, and he's just talking about how he's trying to convert Muslims to Christianity. And I'm like, oh my gosh. This is not something I choose to watch, but for some reason, like, when I'm asleep, like, I just wake up and I'm kind of like, what is this? And it's just some autoplay thing, like, that YouTube thinks I want to watch, okay? and I'm not selecting this, but I think because one time YouTube started playing it, it thinks that I want to watch this, and now it thinks I'm a fan of his channel or something. And I'm not saying if you like his content, but I'm personally not interested in what he's talking about that much because, well, one thing I thought was very interesting. I think you should be more aware. Like, you should read the room, friends. Like, if you're like saying, oh, like the Quran doesn't make any sense and it doesn't make any sense like the Bible, and then this guy was doing a live stream and he's a minister, okay? And he was like, oh, but wait, like, yeah, that part of the Bible, I don't remember. And oh, yeah, there's like a couple things that contradict each other. And I'm like, but wait, you just said that somebody else's religious text doesn't make sense and that you're an expert on Christianity. And then I was just like, what is this guy talking about? So I turned that off. And you should be able to like kind of laugh at. I have a very Khalil Gibran mindset about these people. Like Khalil Gibran, he had faith in God, but he wasn't like somebody that like would follow everything a religious teacher said. And he's so right. Because I can see that a lot of religious leaders, they make people think like they're so holy, but you know, a lot of religious leaders have done bad things. And I'm not saying you can't go to church or mosque or to a Jewish temple. Like, I'm not saying you can't do those things, but I personally just don't. I'm not a big fan of organized religion, and I've tried to like think over the last couple of years, am I going to change my mind on this? Like, is this something that I'm going to like feel differently about? And I'm like, no, like, but it doesn't make me an atheist. I still believe in God, but I guess I'm just like, I'm very unique in that I believe in God, but I don't feel like you need to go to church to believe in God. And I don't think you have to go to church to become a better person. I just don't. Like, these are just my takes like on this topic. And I think there are some Christian churches and there's some Muslims. They're doing good things in the world and they're really helping people. But I'm just seeing a lot of people, like, they're not really doing the things that their religious texts say you should do to help the less fortunate and things. And I don't know. I'm not. So, like, when it comes to religion and politics, a lot of it is a group dynamic, right? It's like very, yes, Miguel, yes, you get what I'm saying. A lot of it's like about a group of people getting together and like talking about how they do everything right. And in America, like, the politics have become the new religion because people don't really go to organized religion anymore. So personally, I'm an introvert, right? Like, at heart, I'm a very introvert person. I'm not into the cult of celebrity, and since the beginning of time, a lot of like religious leaders, it's about the cult of celebrity. It's somebody who like gets up there and they're like talking about, oh, how they interpret this religious text better than everybody else, but then like you're listening to this person talk and he doesn't even understand parts of the religious text. You don't know what I'm talking about? That's okay. You know, you can use the captions, Miguel. There are captions on the video. Captions. CAPTINOS. And you can see what I'm talking about. Like, you can put on the captions. But yeah, I don't think this makes you a better person, because a lot of these religious people, they want you to join their organization because of, well, with the Christianity one, okay, I can talk about pretty well because that's the religion that I've had the most exposure to. It's called tithing, right? They want you to pay a tithe or like a donation to their church. And I haven't seen a lot of churches that actually help like the less fortunate, like the way that Jesus did. So I'm very skeptical of all of it in my little opinion. I'm gonna make sure my garbage disposal is actually working. There's something wrong with it. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't sound like that. It's not quite right. I need to call on that garbage disposal thing. I put it off. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't mean to go into all those topics, and I know a lot of people don't like that, and they have very specific views on things. But personally, I don't care if you want to believe in something and that's what you want to spend your life doing, and it brings you happiness and you feel like it makes you a better person, then yeah, do those things. But personally, I don't buy into a lot of it, because I feel like we should be like Khalil Gibran, where we're questioning like what a leader says, like, and looking to see like, are they really doing that this way? And I've always believed in self-study, like, and the same in academia and school. Like, a lot of people think like they need to be in a class and they get mad if a class like doesn't teach them something. But from a young age, I looked at education from a very introverted perspective. I'm like, if you want to learn about something, you need to be the steward of your own education, of your own faith, of your own like political anything, like whatever it is. Like, I feel, and I have a very introverted take. Like, I don't expect a class or a group of people to make decisions for me. I just have a very introverted take. And this is also another thing about like libertarians too. Like, they pretend like they're very individualistic. But if you don't like buy into politics and think that politics has the answer 24/7, or even think that all these political ideas that libertarians who are supposedly so individualistic think are great, like if you're just like, I question this and I question that, they don't like that. Like, they're so into being I don't know, they're just so into being right, that I'm just more into being introverted. So I'm going to let everybody fight about the politics, the religion, and all these things. But I believe in God, and I just believe that less politics in your life is probably better. And those aren't really popular stances for people that are into the cult of celebrity. Because, oh no, I had another pan. I didn't wash this guy. I need to wash him too. The people that are into the cult of celebrity, they don't like that, because then you're not going to be a follower of whatever it is that they're doing. And they want followers. They don't really want individuals. Political organizations and like Christian religion, they don't really want individuals that will question them. Like, do you think a minister is going to like somebody like, what is this YouTube video that I'm like, wait a minute, you don't even know part of the religious text that I know. It's my YouTube sweater, right? But I like YouTube because I have a YouTube channel and I got it for free. So they don't even know like parts of the Bible, and they're like dissing, like they're saying, oh, the Quran doesn't make any sense, but yet this one minister guy is on the YouTube saying, oh, but wait a minute, like the Bible contradicts itself in parts, or he's like trying to explain it away. Like, that's not a good look. Like, I feel if you're gonna be a Christian, you should just be a Christian. Like, this is my view, and this is a very hot take, and it's not gonna be popular like for the people that believe in like conversion and all that. I think your product should stand for itself. If you have the best product on the market, whether you be like a religion, whether you be like a political movement or whatever, if your product is so great, you should just live that product, live your life, let your followers be, or the people that want to follow you, because that's fine. Like, if people want to be part of a group, let that be a shining example of like how this is the best thing ever. Because if it's the best thing ever, then you don't need to convince other people that it's the best thing ever, in my opinion. I don't know. That's just what I think. I don't think you need to be out there, but I have a very introverted take, and this is kind of a Khalil Gibran hot take. Khalil Gibran was right. All these religious leaders, not so much. Because you can believe in God, and you could even be a Christian and spiritual without going to church every Sunday. Hot take. Khalil Gibran, amazing. People who follow church leaders, ridiculous. These guys are whacking it off in the basement. My gosh, really? And you're donating 10% of your money to them? Like, come on, think about it. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to think for yourself. But this is my introverted perspective. Most people, they want to be extroverted and they like being part of a group. I just don't feel the need, I like to think for myself. Like, I have friends and family, but I don't need to have that like social group in my life to make myself feel complete. I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching.